morning, thank you for joining me. It's time for October goals. In fact, it's the 2nd of October as I record this. The 1st of October sneaked up on me without me noticing, really. I'm really pleased that October's here. I feel like September was always going to be a really busy month for us, and I didn't get loads of work done and lots of stuff happened and we were away a lot, and I feel like now October's here and it's sort of the winters or the autumn is becoming more apparent, isn't it? The trees are changing colour and it just feels a bit more autumnal. There's a chill in the air in the evenings and the mornings, and it's time to be spending time at home and getting back into a routine and all that sort of stuff that I really secretly enjoy. Not even secretly, I just enjoy it. So I thought I'd set myself some goals. Not only is it October, everybody's thinking about Christmas. We're not going to talk about the C word on this channel until considerably nearer the time. But yeah, it's almost like everybody's thinking it's the end of the year already, and I've been reading quite a lot on Instagram about the last 90 days movement. I can't remember where it came from. I've got a couple of friends who are sort of involved in it in Instagram, but it's basically sort of setting yourself goals for the last quarter of the year, the last 90 days, and not just letting it drip away and think, oh, I'll get stuff done when the new year comes. And I'm a great advocate for that because, you know, every day we're alive is a gift, and you never know what might happen. We might not be here by this time in January. But I love the idea of keeping focused on goals and keeping going with stuff, even though it's sort of towards the end of the year. That's really what the last 90 days thing is all about. If you want to look it up, it's hashtag last 90 days. Anyway, all of that being said, it's time to set some goals, and I've set myself some goals, not loads, but I feel like I haven't been great with goal setting this year. There's been several months where I haven't set goals for various reasons, and sometimes I haven't followed up on them on here, and sometimes I've been a bit I haven't done them or done very well with them. I just feel like it hasn't been a great year for monthly goals so far, so I really want to change that for the last quarter. And so I've sort of set some goals that are for the entirety of the last quarter and some that are just for October. And I just remembered that I wanted to show you something, so I'm going to go and get it. Right, all prepared now. So yeah, some of my goals are for the entirety of the rest of the year and some are for just for October. So we've got some that are work related, reselling related, and some that are personal. I don't think I've done them in any particular order. I'm just looking down here. No, let's just jump right into the whole thing, shall we? And my first goal is sort of health related, which is ironic because just before this video I'm doing a thing where I have to check my blood pressure, and I had a bit of an argument. I'm segueing off, aren't I? But it's good. I had a bit of a disagreement with my doctor last week because I had been monitoring my blood pressure. I actually know I'm on blood pressure medication. I have been for about a year on and off, and I'd really quite like to get off it. And I've been monitoring my blood pressure, and I'd halved my dose of blood pressure medication, and I was doing okay. It was still high-ish, but not as high as it had been. Anyway, I went in to see him for a new prescription, and he was very cross with me that I'd decided to halve my dose unilaterally. And I discussed it with him, and he said that I really ought to be taking the full dose. And I said, well, how about if I monitor it for a week with the full dose and a week with the half dose, and then you look at it and see what you think, because I was pretty confident there wouldn't be a massive difference. So he agreed to this. Anyway, for the last few days I've been taking the full dose, and I started monitoring this morning, and I've just taken my blood pressure and it's the highest it's been for ages. On the full dose as well, which has been ridiculous because I've not been taking the full dose for about 3 months. So back on the full dose, and my blood pressure is higher than it's been for since I got taken into hospital last year, actually, I think. So yeah, let's hope it's down by tonight. And there's no reason for it to be up. I'm quite calm this morning. I'm very unstressed and nothing's going wrong. Nothing's wound me up. So very strange. Anyway, that was a complete aside. The first goal is vaguely related to that, it's health related, and I want to lose another 1.5 stone by the end of this year for viewers that don't operate in stone. Stone is £14, so 1.5 is 14, £21, another £20 by the end of this year, and that feels doable. September I have pretty much maintained. The last week I did put on £2, but I expected to do that, so that's all good, that's fine. But it feels like 1.5 stone is possible by the year end, and that would be a total of 2.5 stone then. It's going to be a long process, this weight loss, because I want to have a life as well. I can't just commit to, and I know some people just work their life around Slimming World, but I'm just not one of those people. I want to go out and drink a bottle of wine if I feel like it, and I want to be able to not be always picking the healthy choice off the menu, so it has to work around me. But I do feel very positive about the whole Slimming World thing overall. So yeah, 1.5 stone by the end of the year, so watch this space. Moving on to work, reselling. In October, I would like to get 350 new eBay listings up. I have not been listing as much as I should, with having been away, and then Will going to uni, and then I was away again last week for my dad's 80th birthday. So September has been a bit of a write-off listings wise, really. So I thought 350 is a bit of a stretch goal, but I have made myself a little chart with October eBay listings target, and I crossed them off. As you can see, yesterday was the first, and I've crossed off. I did 17 yesterday, so that will just keep me accountable and keep it in my head that that's what I need to be doing. So yeah, 350 would be good. I'd also like to get 50 new Etsy listings on. I have been neglecting Etsy these last few months, and in the last couple of weeks I've had 3 really nice sales on Etsy. So I feel like I do need to get anything that's Etsy appropriate onto Etsy, and just give it a bit of love to keep those sales coming in, because their fees are so much less than eBay, and it's a nice platform to sell on Etsy. I like the whole vibe of Etsy. It's less confrontational than eBay somehow. Anyway, so that I've put 50 is my Etsy target, and as you can see, I've done none so far. I also want to put, I haven't written this down, but on the bottom of that, as you can see, I have got Facebook listings target, and I've had a little bit of success with selling clothing in specifically brand targeted Facebook groups. So I want to, this was a few months ago, and I haven't been doing that so much, so I would like to get 50 listings that are appropriate for the various groups onto Facebook, and just see how I get on with those, because of course Facebook, no fee. You do get slightly lower prices, I find, but no fees, so that's all good. By the end of the year, the next goal is, it's a work related one, I want to completely reorganise all my reselling space. You know, I've got the big conservatory type room out the back, which I don't keep very tidy and organised, simply because I have the space not to be, and if I don't have to be tidy and organised, I tend not to be. So I really want to get that sorted and organised. Eventually we're going to be redecorating our kitchen, and I think, well, not rebuilding our kitchen is more appropriate. We're moving a wall in. I'm looking over there because the kitchen's over there. Moving the wall in and putting a door into outside, so it's a major building job, and I think the plan probably is to completely seal off from here onwards. While we do that, it's probably going to be months, I would think, probably 4 months or something like that. Now I said 4 months, it would be 8 months, of course. But we've also got another kitchen in the conservatory out the back, and we will probably be using that. Well, we will be using that if this is sealed off. So I need to get it tidier out there, tidier and more organised. So that's a sort of long-term goal towards the end of the year, or maybe the next couple of months or something like that, I'm not sure. Another health goal, I want to walk 3 times a week. get out for an actual walk, as much as for fresh air as anything else. Exercise and fresh air, you know, I don't mind if it's a little walk, but I do need to get into the habit of going out. I have had walking on my goals list before, and for various reasons I've never managed to do it, so I'm going to really attempt hard to do that, to stick to that. I'm going to make myself one of these little graphs so I can tick it off, say that I've done it. The next one is to have a low buy month, at least a month for October. I'd never like to say have a no buy month, because this is personal stuff, not reselling. Because as soon as I say I'm having a no buy month, I see something that I've just absolutely got to buy. But I feel like I need to declutter and enjoy the stuff I've got, rather than buying more at the moment. There's nothing I need at all. And with Christmas coming up, you know, more stuff comes in, and we also have had a really expensive couple of months, university fees, university accommodation, all that stuff. As you know, my car, the head gasket has just gone. It's a month into being repaired. Don't even ask, and it's likely to be probably another month. They told me this last week, so 3 weeks. But in fact, I need to go and chivvy them a bit today. But yeah, absolute nightmare, and very, very, very expensive. So yeah, apart from anything else, all the money that was shelled out recently, it would be good to have a month where I didn't spend as much money as usual. So a low buy month. In a similar vein, but slightly different, I want to make the most of my candle collection. As you know, I am a candleaholic and haven't been burning candles as much over the summer, although I do still burn them, but I need to have less candles, fewer candles. I need to have fewer candles. Yes, fewer, that's the word, not less. I just have too many, and I need to be enjoying them and using them, and I am good at burning them, but just not as much as I should do, considering how many I've got. So I need to really get into the habit of having a candle lit all the time that I'm in the house. Plus they smell lovely, of course, so you know, they're no good sitting in the cupboard looking at me, are they? So yeah, burning my candles. Another thing that I've put on my list is, now as you know, Ashley and I are now empty nesters. William has flown off to university, and he's having a great time, enjoying it so far, which is really good. It was Freshers Week last week, and then yesterday was his first day on his proper course, and he seems we had quite a long chat with him. He phoned last night, and he seems to be really enjoying it, which is great. So yeah, we are now by ourselves at home, and now all the excitement of September is over. We're getting into the habit of just being a couple by ourselves again. And on that note, we are quite guilty of not spending quality time together. And I hate that expression, quality time, but no, I don't hate it, but it's just a throwaway expression, isn't it? That doesn't mean an awful lot. Excuse me. I feel like I've got a cold coming on, very sore throaty this morning. Yeah, we tend to go our separate ways a lot. We don't, when we're, Ashley quite often works 6 days a week. I obviously work from home. He works in the office, out of home. He quite often works Saturdays as well, so I will just work if he's not here. And then when we're both at home, we both tend to be doing house stuff or garden stuff separately, because the upkeep of this big house, you know, I'm not complaining, absolutely not complaining at all. But that is the reality of the situation. We spend a lot of time working and a lot of time working on the house and the garden. So we don't tend to spend quality time. I can't think of another expression for it, but the quality time together that we probably should. We did, when William was at home, do stuff as a family, even as he got older, and now we haven't got that sort of time, or not time, but we haven't got that reason for doing stuff as a family. I feel like we need to not lose sight of the fact that we ought to do stuff other than work, which it would be quite easy to do. We're both kind of workaholics, really. So I've put on my goals list to do something every weekend, even if it's just go out for a walk or go to the pub for a drink, or just something that is the two of us together. I'm not just to do something every weekend, to actually make a plan, to do something as a couple out of the house together. So yeah, that's something I've put on my list, just so it will keep reminding me that we need to do that, because it's so easy to get into the rut of when we don't do anything together at all. And the final thing on my October goals, which is really a challenge for the rest of the year, and it's just to remind me, is I set myself a challenge at the beginning of the year to read 52 books this year. I think I'm about maybe 1 or 2 books behind, but I really want to succeed at that challenge. So I need to make time for reading every day. So again, that's just a reminder for, I so enjoy reading. When I was on holiday, I was posting all my little book reviews from what I read on Instagram, and I love having that time to read, and I really need to make more time for that. Less YouTube and more reading time, that's what I need. Right, that is my goals for October, and some of the longer ones for the end of the year, to longer goals for the rest of the year. I'm going to come back at the end of October and tell you how I got on with those, and then set some more for November. And I'm hoping to have a stronger finish to the year goals wise than I did the first half of the year. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed that. If you've got any goals for October or the rest of the year, let me know in the comments. I always like to hear what everybody else is doing goals wise, or what challenges you're setting yourselves. Yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.